Hello and welcome to Fairy Dust TV. I'm your host, Jen Burton, romantic fairy godmama for smart, successful single women around the world. For today's topic, we are talking about will I ever find love? Now, if you're coming to me and you're watching this right now, I'm going to be very honest with you. You might feel a little down about this topic, maybe in a kind of a dark place. And parts of this broadcast will be a little bit dark because it does feel overwhelming to contemplate. When you're single, contemplate whether or not you feel, whether or not you will ever find love in your life, or if it's always going to be temporary and fleeting. And I understand that. I understand that fully. I've been there at several points in my life before I met the man that I've been with for the last 9 years. And again, it's a dark place to feel. Sometimes it feels very desperate. It definitely feels lonely, and it also feels never ending. And having to tap into every piece of that and break it apart is, again, can be overwhelming for you. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to ask you 3 questions because, to be honest, the answer to will you ever find love depends on these 3 questions, single lady. And the first one is, are you willing to let go of your past hurts? Now, what I found until I met my husband is that I held on to everything bad that had happened to me in my life so dearly, like it was so ingrained in my identity, that I did not give men the space to love, adore, and cherish me. So time and time again, I would set them up to fail with me because I was clinging so fiercely to those past hurts. And what I initially did when I started my new dating journey in 2006 is I decided, I knew that, I had things in my past I needed to let go of, but since they were really ingrained in my identity, I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit difficult for me to say, oh, sure, just let me let them go. Until I realized that maybe everything that had been happening to me in my life was setting me up to have everything that I want romantically. So think about that for a second. So all the hurts, all the tears, all the waking up with that desperate, lonely feeling, or the night after a breakup, the morning after where you wake up and you can barely breathe because you feel like you're the only person in the entire world knowing that you've been left. It is one of those nasty, horrible, gut-wrenching feelings that you think will never go away. But if you think about all of those things as events in your life that are preparing you to have everything you want, it starts to make it much easier to digest and let go of all those things that have happened to you. So they have served you, but they've served you on a different level. They haven't been put in your life just to hurt you. They've been put in your life to help you, to build you, to take you to where you want to be. Now, one of the reasons that I love working with women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and up is because these women have had some real events in their life romantically that have brought them to the point that they are like, no more. I don't want to do this anymore. It hurts doing this way. I need to do something differently. In our society, we are not taught how to be women who are loved, adored, and cherished. We are now being taught how to be good women, productive women, successful women, which means when you go back to the preparing yourself for everything, that you are going to find it difficult to want to change everything that's been going on romantically in your life and do things differently if it hasn't hurt enough in your life. And I know that sounds kind of dark, and I said, again, pieces of this are going to be kind of dark, but when you're able to say, you know what, this hurts enough, I want something different to happen in my life, you have opened up a doorway for somebody like me or for the universe to step in and say, if you're willing to do things differently now, you're going to create something a completely different paradigm for yourself romantically. So that's the first question. Are you willing to let go of those past hurts in order to make room for something brand new? And all you have to do is start thinking of everything that has happened in your life so far romantically as a stepping stone, a building block to creating the love that you want in your life. Okay, so when we go back to our original question, will I ever find love? Single lady, the second question I want you to ask yourself is, are you willing to understand men? And no, I'm not talking about the shit that they put in Cosmo magazine on how to pleasure your man this, or how to know if your man does this. All that bullshit stuff that they put out about men is all superficial. You need to know what is the foundation for most men. And quit trying to overread and overanalyze men, because when you do that, then all of a sudden you've made your entire love life about him, and he has no space to love, adore, and cherish you, because you have created a tunnel vision energy around him that is suffocating to men. Now, I have on my website, if you go to my website, havehimyourway.com, or I'll link to it underneath this video as well, you will find a place where you can enter your name and email, and I will send you a free class on understanding men. And it's the 9 things that you actually should know about men if you want to have a magical love life. Now, if you want to feel crazy all the time, you can keep reading all the magazines and the one size fits all shit that's out there about understanding men. But if you want something, a foundation of men that you can build on and really start to do something with to create the romantic, magical experience that you're looking for, I want you to go ahead and get that free class for me. havehimyourway.com, or again, I'll link underneath this video, okay? Then, since we're going to keep this kind of short and sweet for you today, again, if you're asking yourself, will I ever find love? If you're feeling super desperate about it, and even if you're just feeling kind of apathetic about it, whatever you're feeling about it, the third question you will ask yourself is, are you willing to tweak your approach to dating? Now, I want to make it very clear. The reason you haven't found love isn't because of who you are, okay? There are wonderful, no matter who you are, there are wonderful things about you that men will love, adore, and cherish about you, okay? But your approach to dating needs to be tweaked. The approach to dating out there these days is setting women up to fail, setting both men and women up to fail again and again and again with each other. And it's all about instant gratification, assessing chemistry right away, knowing, trying to overanalyze men and read his every move, and it does not work, okay? So there are 5 types of women who come to me. 5 types of women and how they date. I'm going to go through them really quickly. And so the first one is Miss Serial Monogamous. Now, this is the woman who goes from relationship to relationship again and again and again. And so she'll have a mini relationship, and she'll just say, I'm just not the dating kind of person. And she'll have mini relationship after mini relationship that's not going into what she wants. And sometimes she'll spend years with a guy who is really unfulfilling for her, and in a relationship that is just kind of meh and blah. And this has a lot to do with her fact that she's just so deathly afraid of not being in a relationship. Now, the second kind of dater that comes to me is Miss Non-Dater. Now, this is the woman, there's a couple different types of Miss Non-Dater, but basically this can be a successful professional woman who keeps putting dating on the back burner. Maybe she'll dab her toe in the water every once in a while, but most of the time it doesn't really go anywhere. She'll draw it back out, and she is thinking, you know, a man will just slow me down. I don't really need a man. No, men don't like strong, successful women. And she'll just keep putting dating off for years and years and years. And underneath all of that truthfully, is her fear of being in a deeply connected relationship, and she's afraid that she is going to get really hurt badly. And that's one of the reasons she stays in that repetitive pattern again and again and again. And the third one is Miss can't make it to date 2, 3, or 4. Now, this again has most of the time has a lot to do with just her approach, and it's very, very easy to tweak once. And we're going to talk about tweaking your approach in dating in just a second. But that one, almost, yes, there are things underneath it and the reasons why, and there's insecurities behind it, but that one usually is very easily remedied with just a few minor tweaks into your approach and your approach to dating. Fourth one, now this is one that I've done at different points in my life, not at my entire dating life, but at different points I definitely did this one, and this is Miss Date Her Down. And this is the woman who she's smart, she's successful, she's got so much going for her, and she dates men who are beneath her level. And when I say beneath her level, I mean she is dating somebody who's intellectually below her. So he's intellectually and emotionally, his emotional intellect is also way below her. This is also sometimes, or a lot of times, somebody who's dating somebody who's financially way below her, and who is not near as ambitious as she is. There's an inequality when it comes to personality, and usually like the only connection she might have with him is the sexual connection that a lot of times will fade away as well. But also, it's just sometimes she's dating him because she really needs a warm body, much like Miss Serial Monogamous. All right, and my fifth person, okay, and this is Miss Nobody Really Interests Me Except Him. So this is the woman that gets tons of male attention, but she has focused on one man in her life, and so no other man can live up to him, but he's not treating her well. He knows, he can feel that energy that she has cut off every option and manage, and she will go to the ends of earth to be with him. And it's a really nasty cycle. And this woman usually has a reoccurring relationship with this guy over and over again. And I'll be honest, this one's one of the most difficult to remedy because so many women are committed, who are this type of dater, are committed to making that relationship with that man work because they're unwilling to admit that they might have the same level of chemistry with somebody else. They're too afraid to admit that. So they're setting themselves up for failure. Again, underneath all of these different types of dating is these different types of women dating is the notion that they don't know this necessarily subconsciously, but subconsciously they are setting men up to fail with them again and again. And the third question that we were talking about is, are you willing, if you really want to know if you will ever find love, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to tweak your approach to dating? Now, one of the ways to use your dating, one of the things that I teach for dating is called mantourage dating, which essentially is dating more than one man at a time until you find your forever man, or indefinitely if you so choose. Now, I know that this is hard to swallow for most women because what we like to do is we want to be in relationships, and you have to remember that's the end goal. But if you want to tweak your approach to dating, you need to learn the ins and outs of this. And one way you can do that is by going to my website, Eresistibility. And that's E-RRESISTIBILITY.com, and getting the first 2 chapters to my online dating program for women. Because if you use online dating in the right way, you can open up all the possibilities that you have and options in men to find the love of your life, which is what most women are looking for. Now, Again, we were talking about how desperate that place can feel, the will I ever find love? And the answer is yes. if you are willing to ask yourself these questions, if you are willing to let go of past hurts, if you're willing to understand men on a different level, not a superficial level, but a level that allows you to connect with men in a way that allows a relationship to flourish, and if you're willing to tweak your approach to dating, then yes, Lover Girl, 100%, absolutely, you will find love. And I can definitely help you with that. Come over to my website at havehimyourway.com. You can get your free class to Understanding Men. You can also go to my website, eResistibility, E-RRESISTIBILITY.com, and get your first 2 chapters for free for my online dating program for women to help you put together a dating profile and understand online dating to open up your options in men and help you find the love of your life. Well, that's a wrap for today's Fairy Dust TV. It's been a pleasure being with you today. Again, remember, yes, you will find love. Okay? Just 3 things you need to ask yourself. A few things that you need to do. You can do this. I believe in you, Lover Girl, and you have a fantastic day. Mwah. Ciao.